What the Fox Hat? Hey there! Welcome to What the Fox Hat. I'm your host, the girl in the fox hat. Do these buzzwords sound familiar to you? E-commerce, call to action buttons, social media shopping, mobile commerce. Today we're pulling all of that together and we're looking at the new upcoming trend amongst social media platforms, the buy button. While many platforms are currently experimenting with the technology, including Twitter and even Google, the focus on today's discussion will be the Facebook buy button and Pinterest's buyable pins. As early as July of last year, it's been public knowledge that Facebook have been trialling a new call to action button, the buy button, and they've been testing it in a couple of different ways. It's embedded in ads on people's news feeds, as a feature of particular groups, and as part of a special shopping tab on businesses' pages. As of the 12th of October, trials are still continuing on Facebook. However, Pinterest appears to have beaten them out of the gate because their Buyable Pins program is already taking on partners publicly. So how do these work? As the companies are eager to tell you, it's really quite simple. If you're a customer, you're probably already browsing your social media platform of choice when you see something cool that you decide you want to buy. The idea is that right there, alongside the cool thing, is a strategically placed call to action button. These call to action buttons are designed to guide users into whatever action you need them to take, whether that be buying something, signing up for something, or downloading something. But the thing about the buy button in this social media shopping scenario is that it makes the purchasing process quicker in every sense of the word. Not only are you being encouraged to buy a bit more impulsively, but the actual checkout process can be much quicker when it's all taking place on one website. If you're a business interested in using a social media platform for e-commerce, most of the hard work has already been done for you. Both Facebook and Pinterest have outsourced the back-end purchasing mechanic to Shopify. The advantage of this system is that it saves the social media companies money. Plus, it keeps customer payment details as far away from Facebook as possible. And for security reasons, that's a great idea. However, if customers choose to have their billing details pre-saved to their social media account, that's okay too. The feature's built in. So why is this happening now? It's kind of a perfect storm where technological advancements and corporate culture have met like a tiny little cyclone. Apple Pay is rumoured to be getting closer and closer for consumers, which will open the door for card-less pay options in the physical world and a more unified pay system in the digital world. We're spending 80% of our time on mobile apps according to one study. That's 80%. And all of these things combined signify that it's the right time for new innovations in mobile commerce. And as a result, Facebook's call to action buttons are debuting at a time where it's actually become fashionable for non-traditional commerce players like Pinterest and other social media sites to make a foray into the market. But it's not just a case of the timing being right. There's plenty of other reasons for the new advancements. The businesses that are utilising social media commerce, like with any new venture, want to increase their sales. And there's ample opportunity to do so right now. The current model for shopping online, and especially in mobile shopping, has a few problems. There are two steps in the purchase chain that have been found to be the riskiest spots for losing customer conversion. Those steps are 1. The process of getting to the checkout screen, and 2. Entering the payment details. I don't know about you, but I know that feeling. Typing your credit card details into a little mobile phone? What a pain! I can understand how customers are getting lost at step 2. And we know that lots of more people are shopping on mobile now. The numbers are just going up, up, up. So if the buy button can streamline those 2 steps in the process, then in theory, the conversion rate of sales will go up too. From the perspective of the social media tech companies, they want to make their business clients and their stakeholders happy. And helping them to increase their conversion rate is one way to do it. It's certainly one way for them to get a slice of the marketing pie, and it's potentially a big pie too, like $1.6 trillion big. There is also the rationale that Facebook just wants to make you, the user, happy. They want to make your life easier because you're a loyal fan of the service and they love you. But some argue that Facebook's altruism is pretty, well, fake book. Constantine feels pretty strongly about it, has often characterised Facebook as this kind of monster seeking to absorb the whole internet for its own gain. I kind of see Facebook as more of a Godzilla sort of figure, waiting to stomp us all out of existence. Experts in this area are also saying that it's just what the customers want. For example, Mark Challenor has said that this model of business is pretty similar to microtransactions in the gaming industry. And he's gone on to say, the growing market for digital gaming is just huge. And he's also noted that the gaming world seems to have found a winning formula for upselling based on delivering small chunks of add-ons at similarly small price points. Whoa. Back up a second there. Winning formula? Microtransactions. We are talking about the same microtransactions that this article was written about? Or this one? How about this one? If we're talking about how customers, actual video gamers, feel about microtransactions, I can show you a stack of articles about their hatred or at least disappointment in this new business model. Sure, Challenor is right about the increase in these sorts of microtransaction sales, but that's because they're so hard to get away from. There really isn't much you can do to avoid them in certain games. This is exactly the sort of reasoning that businesses use all the time, and it makes me think they legitimately don't know the difference between whether their customers are begrudging servants or loyal fans. Sometimes I wonder if frankly these businesses don't care which is which. Let's not mince our words here. When we're talking about winning formulas, we're talking about the winners being game developers and businesses, not the customers. And while we're on the subject of customers, both Pinterest's CEO, Ben Silbermann, and the head of commerce, Michael Yamartino, have gone on record saying that the ability to buy things directly from Pinterest is a long-requested feature, and that they're simply giving the people what they want. And Austin Carr wrote in his own blog about his crushing disappointment a year ago when he tried to furnish his home using things he'd seen on Pinterest, but sadly just couldn't buy all the things he wanted because the infrastructure just wasn't there on the site. But that's just the opinion of three guys, two of which have an invested interest in the Buyable Pins program succeeding. When asked whether Facebook users will be on board with this new service, the overall response has been kind of from everyone. Experts on both sides of the aisle have an opinion on this. We have David Berenbaum on one side of the debate who says Facebook users will shop till they drop. On the other hand, Tom Red says no, simply no, citing the cynicism of Facebook's users towards the company's motives as the factor that will drive them to ignore the service. When people who use Facebook were actually asked how they felt, the results are a bit more telling. University of Massachusetts Dartmouth found that only 35% of millennials surveyed said they were likely to even use a buy button on Facebook. Nora Barnes, the academic who conducted the study, followed up on these results by saying, "As a consumer behaviour specialist, I'm looking at this and saying, who wants or needs this? Who's going to use it? I think millennials are saying the same thing." The added problem here is that at this stage, we still don't know how successful any of these ventures have been, either in testing or in full operation. The tech companies have all been reluctant to share their hard data regarding the efficacy of the buy button. Now that bothers and annoys me. I'm curious as to whether this radio silence means that the program is a complete flop and they're embarrassed to admit it. But obviously we have no proof of that. Well, not really. I mean, sure, it's easy to see why people are being cynical about Facebook's consideration to its users. When you run a company that hasn't even managed to decide whether it'll bring in a dislike button, arguably one of the most contentious missing features on Facebook, people are going to question your devotion to the fans. Really, like most things that happen on Facebook, this all comes down to one thing. Who are Facebook's customers really? I always think of something that a friend of mine said about Facebook. If you're not paying to use it, You're not the customer, you're the product. And I think average people either don't realise that or choose to ignore it. Companies like Facebook, Pinterest, all the social media sites have to be accountable to their stakeholders because those are the ones who pay the company's electric bill, not us plebs down here. So if we position the question as, is the buy button working for Facebook's stakeholders? Then I'd say the answer is absolutely. Even if the program is a complete disaster and no one uses it, I don't think the business partners involved lose anything for trying. Even Facebook and Pinterest would recover if their programs didn't succeed. At worst, they'll look like fools for a short while. And this isn't the first time that Facebook have played in this experimental e-commerce space. And it certainly wouldn't be the first time the company has fallen flat on its face either. Look, as a fellow millennial, I too am left scratching my head over this innovation. Personally, I haven't been sitting around waiting for this feature to arrive. I mean, sure, there have been banner ads in the past that have caught my eye, but I just don't associate Facebook with shopping. I mean, look at the sort of stuff they put on this site. I mean, Dragon's World, recommended game. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. Cute handbags, buy now. No, I think I'm good. What about this one? New shirts at T-Fury. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like it in the red. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is that social media shopping has some potential. Maybe it really is just going to be one of those features that no one really asked for, but sets off a new phase in the evolution of e-commerce. Stranger things have happened. Until the feature becomes more available to the mainstream though, you won't really get a chance to test it out for yourself. But it's probably worth giving it at least a quick look when it comes in. Who knows, they might change your outlook on the shopping cart. For now, this is the girl in the fox hat, signing off.
If you'd like to know more about this story, feel free to check out one of the websites listed here. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. For more foxy rantings, feel free to follow the blog or on Twitter.